Hey everybody, how you doing? I've never done a chat on YouTube, so I thought I'd try it. If anybody has any comments or questions, let me know. I have a bunch of cool mouthpieces I make at the shop that I thought I would show off, including some cool vintage pieces. This is a piece that I copied after one of my heroes, Till Brönner. If anybody has any comments or questions, you have any, this one, for instance, let's see if I can get that. It doesn't really focus too well. 1CWE, I guess it's another reverse negative. That is based off a piece that he plays. Hold on, I'm just going to check one quick thing. And if you have questions about mouthpieces, please let me know. Happy to answer anything if I know them. Probably don't, so I'm sure it's riveting right now. But we'll get to the El Gato, and we'll get to the Harry Glantz mouthpiece. We'll get to the Miles Davis mouthpiece, and the Clifford Brown mouthpiece, and the Louis Armstrong mouthpiece in a bit. All cool, fun things that we do at the shop. So if you have any questions or comments, just let me know. So, like I said, this is the first time we've done a chat on YouTube, so I'm not sure how well it's working, but please share your comments if you have any. Look, so if you have any comments, I think there's 8 or 9 mouthpieces here. This is the first mouthpiece I designed, which was the TA1. This was based off Clark Terry's mouthpiece, except for I made it a little bit more playable for what I did. I made it a little bit wider in diameter, a little less flat on the rim. I have the original somewhere. I should actually bring it, but I'm just sharing this. Okay, so the TA1 here is a medium V. Let's see if I can get that a little bit more in the focus here. It's a medium V cup. Pretty deep V actually, but it's super efficient. So I made that piece. That was the first design I ever did on CAD programming. So it was kind of cool. From there we started the whole standard series line. Stuff in, I think we have 42 or 44 stock standard series line options in tons of different blanks. As you can see, this blank is cool. A more conventional blank here, which is based on like a Bach. We have what we call the vintage blank, which is like an old Holton. So cool. I see a comment here. So Nick, yeah, let me pull that up again. Sorry. Yeah, that's not a problem. We can add any extra cushion if you want. You can tell us, for instance, check out this mouthpiece. This is a 3C diameter mouthpiece where I measure, even though a lot of people would measure it more like a 1C. That was Louis Armstrong's mouthpiece. Let me see if I can get that a little bit. Just in comparison, I have this piece, which is based off Håkan's mouthpiece, which is around a 2C. There's Louis. He has just a gigantic outside diameter. See how much more OD space is on this. Let's see if I can get that. Pretty crazy. But this piece, I was saying to someone on Facebook yesterday that this piece, if you play it, it kind of gives you that sound of Louis Armstrong. Not that anybody would ever sound like Louis Armstrong, but it gives it that kind of, that spin. Can't really get past an A on this mouthpiece for some reason without switching my chop setup, but very cool. And it's also a double cup. You can see that inside probably. Look at that. Having little focus issues here with the camera, but there you go. You can actually see it a little bit better. So it's got a first cup entrance and a secondary cup entrance. We actually don't sell this mouthpiece, but I wanted to copy one just for myself. Super cool. Of course, if you ever have any questions about any of this stuff, just email us at info@austinCustomBrass.com or call us 781-944-6247. So I have like a series of pieces that I've made with based on either famous players' mouthpieces or just for fun. Like that Louis Armstrong piece was just for fun. We don't sell it because I think the Armstrong estate actually has a contract with a different mouthpiece maker, so we don't do it out of respect for the Armstrong house and their family. But this piece is cool. You can see that it's even. I know it's a reverse negative, but that's an HH. This is a copy of Håkan Hardenberger's Toshi mouthpiece. It's like a 2C, and it's really smooth. It's got it actually has a pretty nice cushion on the outside as well. But I always like copying pieces from famous players to see what they played. This is Harry Glantz. This is a copy of his mouthpiece. Now it looks like a Schilke blank. I think this was originally made for him by Llewellyn, who also was tight with Schilke. I think Schilke learned a lot from Llewellyn back in the day, and it does have that essence of the Schilke blank, except for it has different curves. Let's see if I can balance it off a little bit. I can't really. So this is more like it's got really not much of a cup on it. It's pretty deep, and it's about 660 depending on where you measure it. It's pretty round, so it's hard to get an accurate measure with where did I put them? A set of custom calipers that I make that go in. You can see right there. Those to measure mouthpieces that goes in a certain dimension inside the cup. That's where I sort of gauge mouthpieces. But it's a very nice mouthpiece. It has this kind of like creaminess to it that I really like. And that's the Glantz mouthpiece. It's pretty cool. And it's cool to see where mouthpieces have gone in the past. I would assume that this was supposedly given to Ed Troidel in 1938. So I'm assuming that this mouthpiece was played with when he was doing all the stuff with Toscanini. Even though I've heard from a few people maybe that it wasn't. But again, it's really hard to put a barometer on if that person actually played it or not. Speaking of mouthpieces people played, this is Clifford's old mouthpiece. There's some cushion. Nick, if you're still watching, that's a cushion rim right there. This is off the old New York 17C2, which supposedly is a copy off a Muck mouthpiece, but I'm not so sure about that. I have a few of the Muck mouthpieces in a drawer somewhere in the shop, and doesn't really share many elements of that mouthpiece. But that's pretty cool. I won't sound like Clifford, but... So it's kind of fun because it does have that cool outside cushion. You can see it right there. It's very cool. This is a piece I made for my friend Joey DiFrancesco, which was a copy of a Miles mouthpiece I had. All right, I'm back. I don't know what happened. The interwebs did not like me there for a second. But, so, this is the Miles piece that I make. And it's also interesting, just check out blanks. We make many, many, many different blanks here at the shop. So if you're looking for something cool, you see, first of all, there's a mass difference between Clifford and Miles's piece. There's also a length difference. This is harder to do, but you can see that this one is longer. So the backboards are totally different because of the length. And this is a V cup as well, kind of similar to Clark's piece. Later on, Miles played something with even more of a horn mouthpiece setup. This is a little bit earlier piece of his time. But a cool piece nonetheless. And see, it has a very interesting insertion point into the mouthpiece too. That song I just played was called "Line for Lions." I think it's a Chet and Jerry thing. I don't know if they play it in concert G or concert A flat. Anyways, so, and yes, of course, we do live noodles all the time at the shop. If you have a live noodles asking for a song request on a certain player's mouthpiece, let me know. But we've seen a few of the smaller things, and of course, we've seen the Pops thing. Again, that's the Louis Armstrong piece. So if you want to hear, like say you want to hear, love the fact that this mouthpiece gets that kind of right off the get-go. So if you have questions about any of this stuff, let me know. Of course, like I said, you can always email me at info@austinCustomBrass.com. It gets us to our crazy mouthpiece. We just got a new batch of these in. This is a very large mouthpiece, as you could see. Oh, wait, maybe not so much. This is the El Gato. El Gato. El Gato stands for the cat. So this was Cat Anderson's mouthpiece, supposedly. And I do a project with a friend of mine. So a lot of my vintage mouthpieces came from him to scan and put out there. And I do give him a royalty on each piece. So like this piece or the Glantz piece that you saw, he gets a little bit of a royalty. That's why they're a little bit more expensive on our site. This is not for the faint of heart. And in fact, I could barely play it, but when I play it, I don't know if the audio from this phone will convey the craziness of this sound, but check this out. I haven't played this in a while. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. So it's got just a ridiculous small cup volume. And this OD is even bigger than the Armstrong OD. So that actually has a little bit, even a little bit. It's like more like a 1 and a, I think I cut this on 1.25" bar stock, which is kind of strange. So most stuff you could cut on 1.125" and be okay with it. But the Armstrong and the El Gato, you can't. So it's kind of cool where you get this wide sort of sound. This guy is tiny. You can see, let's just compare it to, let's compare it to this mouthpiece, which is like a 1C. 1C. Maybe get the cup angle a little bit in there. There we go. 1C. And the El Gato, which is ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. But let me see. I have comments coming on Facebook. I'm just going to check them as well. If you have any song requests, let me know. I bet I probably won't know them. But I can barely play above a G on this because I get too much lip intrusion. If you have any lip intrusion on this mouthpiece, it shuts off. It goes and it sucks the life out of you. That's all I can basically do on it is sort of squeak and squelch, which that's not my thing. But anywho, a few cool mouthpieces. Of course, if you're looking for a custom mouthpiece, just email us anytime at info@austinCustomBrass.com. We also have a direct mouthpiece line, which is MPC sales. So MPC is in mouthpiece sales, one word, at AustinCustomBrass.com. And you can call us via extension 700 at 781-944-6247. We can easily get in touch with you there as well. If you have any specific questions about mouthpieces, reach out to us. This is more of a fun test of the YouTube channel because I've never done this on YouTube. Thanks for everybody for being sort of willing or unwilling participant of this. And I'll be back more on YouTube in the future. So I got to get back to work though. My boss is cracking the whip. Hope you're all well. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Ciao.